Harassed by schizophrenic neighbor, had to move out. I used to live with my good friend in an apartment complex on the sketchier side of town, and with that came the usual crazies, but nothing we couldn't handle, almost, except for our next-door neighbor. Also, this happened about 3 months ago. The complex was smaller than a typical one, only 2 buildings and a shitty pool. We lived on the bottom floor, and directly across from us was my neighbor's door. We'll call him Tim, with a little walkway in between that would take you to the parking lot of the complex, what he called the vestibule. It was a pretty small space, so if we both came out of our apartments at the same time, then we'd pretty much run into each other. Tim loved his vestibule. He put out flowers and constantly swept, to keep it clean, etc. We didn't mind at all, nor paid much attention to it really. Just thought he wanted to keep his apartment looking as nice as it could, which is respectable. We lived in the apartment for 2.5 years, and never realized how obsessed he was with the vestibule, until my girlfriend and I came home from dinner one day and found a note taped to our door. It was written in Sharpie and looked like a ransom note. The note read in all caps, "No smoking on the vestibule." We pulled the note off the door, confused as to why it was there, when Tim's door flew open and walked right up to us. It was like he was watching the door, waiting for us to come home or something, because there was no way he could have heard us unless he was right next to the door. He looked like he was fuming, yet talked in a soft, calm voice. It was definitely strange, and it put off a very creepy vibe. The conversation went something like this: "Did you get my note? You mean this one?" I then held the note up to him. "Yeah, did you read it?" As he starts to move closer. Yeah, but we don't smoke on the walkway, or in the house for that matter. We smoke over in the parking lot, so it wasn't us." He then whispers, "It's a vestibule. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. It's a vestibule, and I need it clean, so stop smoking out here." With that, he does a 180 and slams his door behind him. We were stunned, to say the least. I've barely ever talked to this guy in the last 2 years, except the simple hey, when we happened to cross paths in the parking lot, or on the vestibule, so it freaked us out, to say the least. We went inside, chalked it up to, "This place is full of crazies," and forgot about it. Watched a movie, drank a little, and went to bed. The next morning was a Monday, so I left in the morning for work. My roommate had already left as well, so it was just my girlfriend in the apartment. She worked afternoons, so she usually wouldn't text me till about noon, and I never really texted her first so she could sleep. But that day she never texted me. 12:30 rolls around, so I text her thinking she's gotta be up by now and probably forgot or something, and that's when my heart sank. She responded to my "Hey, good morning" with, "He's trying to break in." I quickly call her a couple times and she's not picking up, so now I'm freaking out. I run to my boss, let him know someone is breaking into my house, and he lets me go. I'm calling her and calling, but she won't pick up. I decide to call my roommate and let him know someone is breaking in, so he is on his way too. I'm thinking she's been hurt or something when she finally calls me back. She was on the phone with the police. When I pick up the phone, she's hysterical, crying and incoherent. I calm her down enough to figure out what's wrong. She says that someone is pounding on the door and twisting the handle, and she thinks it's the neighbor. He hadn't broken in yet, but he's yelling and screaming while kicking the door over and over so loud I can hear it through the phone. He's not screaming words either, just crazy loud yelling. I'm furious, to say the least, and speeding to get home. I stay on the phone with my girlfriend the entire time to make sure she's okay. When I get there, I see the police walking away from my apartment. I rush up and tell them I'm the owner of the apartment, try explaining the situation. They respond saying they tried knocking on the door but no one answered. "Yeah, you dumbass. Why would she open the door for knocking when he was knocking too?" is what I wanted to say to him, but just asked that they talk to him, and told them that I wanted to press charges, and they said they will take a report, and left. Didn't even come back to make sure my girlfriend was okay. I walk over and he's not there anymore. Just boot marks on my door and a note that reads, in red Sharpie this time, "No smoking on the fucking vestibule." The note was horrifying, like a mental patient in an asylum wrote it. Instead of a single piece of tape to hold it up, it was taped on every single side. I rip it off and go inside to find my girlfriend hiding in the closet, sitting there bawling her eyes out. I comfort her and get her some water. My roommate comes through the door at this point and looks mad. I show him the note and we both go over to confront him, maybe kick his ass. As soon as we exit the house, he opens his door, meaning once again he was probably watching us. "Did you get my note?" "Fuck your note. Who the fuck do you think you are, trying to break into my house? What do you mean? I just put the note up. No, you were pounding on the door and jiggling the handle trying to get in. Well, I knocked, but definitely didn't pound on your door or anything. My girlfriend was in there and is shaken up because you were trying to break in, and I could hear you through the fucking phone screaming. This is where he froze, and I realized that he didn't think anyone was home. He just said no smoking on the vestibule, and shuffled back into his apartment. My roommate yelled, "Fuck your vestibule," and kicked his door, which I found pretty funny. Our guess was that he thought he could get away with kicking and trying to break down our door, and realized we knew it was him. Made us wonder how many times he tried to kick our door in when we weren't home. My girlfriend didn't leave the house for probably a week after that, using her vacation time because she couldn't bring herself to go outside alone in the chance he would be there. A few days later, his wife, who I've never seen in my life, only heard, because she too would have fits of rage that you could hear from outside the house, came over and explained that he was schizophrenic and has OCD, so he takes the vestibule very seriously. She then asked if she could use my oven to make brownies with a big creepy smile, instilling into my mind that these people are out of their minds crazy. I told her absolutely not, that the two of them need to stay the fuck away from anyone that comes in and out of this apartment. If he yells at even one more person, then we're gonna call the police, then slammed the door in her face. I was just so angry and furious. I was tired of dealing with all these creeps and weirdos, and now it was affecting the lives of my loved ones. So I decided I need a change and found a new place shortly after all of this, and moved out last month. My roommate followed suit. He moved out this month, leaving behind that hellhole for good. I haven't seen him since, and hope that whoever moves into that place doesn't smoke on the vestibule, because God help them if they do. A little update to this post since it's kinda popular on the subreddit. I had dinner with my roommate last night and brought up that I posted this story, and we talked theories about it again like the good old days. He said that one time he was pulling into the parking lot and noticed the wife walking away from the vestibule talking to herself as usual, and when he walked up he said it smelled like smoke. He brushed it off and forgot about it until the whole vestibule event went down, but never brought it up because he didn't want to talk or engage about it while my girlfriend was around, as to not freak her out anymore. We theorized that maybe, and this is not 100% proven, the cigarette butts he found on the vestibule were actually from his wife. It's one of many possibilities, but I think the most likely.
Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed these stories, please subscribe and hit the like button. I will see you next time on The Dark Side of My Room.